All right, we're back with the Malapert Smark podcast. Thank you for listening, whoever's out there. I got Vlad, the wrestling expert, is here with us today to talk about WWE. Welcome, Vlad. Thank you for being on. I appreciate it.
It's always good to be invited.
Yes, it's been too long. It's been 2 weeks since our last meeting, so we
No,
have a lot to
I
talk
can't
about.
believe it.
Also,
It's
Robert is here. Vlad, the
Sup?
frozen Asian, up there. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
no, he's Robert. I'm Vlad.
No, I was telling you, Vlad, that Robert is here.
Okay. I thought the way it sounded, you made it seem like I was the frozen Asian. We were just having that discussion, so that's why it's funny. Like Vlad, the frozen Asian. I'm like, oh no.
It's okay. We both know you want that name. It's all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I get it. We all get it.
To
Fair
everyone
enough.
out there listening, yeah, before we came on, I had their pictures switched accidentally. So Vlad was the frozen Asian and Robert was the wrestling expert. But everything is all fixed now. So welcome, guys. Let's get down to business. We got a lot to get to. Let's just jump straight into the WWE stuff. Last Friday on SmackDown was March 1st, so we didn't do a show last week, so we have to talk about the business that went down with the Bloodline and The Rock and Roman Reigns and everything. And they set up, I guess somebody guessed this, might have been Vlad, that there might have been a tag match to get The Rock involved somehow at WrestleMania. I didn't believe it because I had a hard time seeing Roman Reigns having two matches, and even Seth Rollins is coming off an injury, and he's supposed to defend his title against Drew and be in this tag match to help Cody finish his story. But okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, I'm sure everyone out there knows, but the match is set up. It's Roman and The Rock on night one against Cody and Seth, and if Roman and The Rock win, then the bloodline will be allowed to interfere and it'll just be like a chaotic match, right? And if they don't win, then it's going to be a straight up one on one with no interference, is what I gather, right? Which I don't know why the bloodline would offer this, right? Like, they shouldn't have even offered that because then there would be interference. Like, why did they even put that on the table? But okay, let's get some thoughts from you guys. Let's start with Vlad, the wrestling expert. What do you think about this? Setup for night one and how everyone has to wrestle twice now?
I like it. Of course, you want to see stars and you want to see them as often as possible. And this is a pretty good use of The Rock. If you're going to use The Rock, because I don't think he's capable of like having this one-on-one. He might look really good, like he might look all jacked up and stuff, but I don't think he's capable of having this one-on-one match. I think this works better a tag match, night one, see what they do with the booking there, and then that will give us an idea of what they're thinking about in night two when it's like the main event, right? When it's Cody and Roman. I, I've said before that I think it's like a whole swerve, and by The Rock. And that's why you're asking why even offer this. I think The Rock is offering it for a reason, because I think he's going to swerve Roman. I mean, this is my guess. Again, I have no knowledge of the situation. This is just an educated guess based on what's happening and everything that's going on within the show. It makes the most sense. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I think you want to see these guys, and you want to see them as often as possible. So I'm fine with it.
All right, Robert, give us some thoughts about this. What do you think? You like it?
Yes. So prior to this match being set up, I believe it was already that the information has already been out there that it's in The Rock's contract that he's gonna show up at WrestleMania to have a match. So he had to have something happen, right? So if it's not gonna be The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and then they pivoted away from that. They had to come up with an alternative plan. The tag match makes sense. Plus, kind of like what Vlad said, yes, he may look like he's in great shape, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's in ring shape, to be able to wrestle. Because to be able to put on a performance, especially in a singles match, you got to put the reps in. You never really know what his cardio is like either, so it makes sense that it would be a tag match. It won't be as uh, exhausting, too much, too taxing for The Rock. So it makes sense that's a tag match. So I wasn't surprised.
And are you seeing the same ending as Vlad, that The Rock swerves Roman and leaves Roman to fight on his own for night 2?
That could happen. I think an alternative would be there's someone else might actually come in to help Cody at night 2. It could be, I don't know. I'm just thinking outside of the box. Maybe Stone Cold makes a surprise appearance or somebody. I don't know. Let's say Stone Cold shows up or somebody to help out Cody to kind of even the playing field a little bit. But yes, the swerve is a definite possibility, and I wouldn't be too surprised by it because eventually the matchup of the Rock and Roman Reigns is going to happen regardless. It's not happening this WrestleMania. It could happen this coming SummerSlam or another PLE later down the line. But I still see that one-on-one match happening.
Man, I hope not. I'm hoping the Roman Rock dynamic duo carries on through the next year and they dominate WWE. I don't want this to end right now. Honestly, I think it would be a mistake. I think it would be a mistake to end Cody's story right now too, but that's something we've talked about before. I don't think it's time. That being said, my prediction is that
What?
I think
it's not
Rock.
time.
It's
You wanted
not
him to win it last year. What are you talking about?
No,
now
man.
it's not time. Now it's not time.
There's more juice in this story, bro. So listen, what's gonna happen?
Agree, because I don't. You have to understand. The Rock is not like a full time member of the roster. He's not going to be there all year, like you said. He's going to be there for WrestleMania, maybe something post like SummerSlam, possibly. But he's not going to be there like every week on SmackDown or anything like that. But anyways, continue. Sorry,
No,
go ahead.
that's okay. I don't think he has to be, as long as they keep the title on him and he comes once in a while. But I'm thinking my prediction is going to be that Roman and The Rock, I think they're going to win night 1. And I think night two has to have that chaos match. It needs to be like a type of match where everyone's going to jump in there, or else it's not going to be fun. That's the type of match that is going to be the WrestleMania main event, man. So Roman and Cody have to win. I don't think they're breaking up. So I think they're just going to have to deal with it, and Cody still could win with all the interference. That's what I'm seeing.
So we're all in agreement that Roman and Rock wins night 1 then.
No, Vlad said that Rock is going to swerve Roman, and
but not
they're going
not necessarily in night 1 though.
Why wouldn't he do it in night 1 then? Why would he wait all the way till night 2? Night 1's the perfect night. Just swerve him, and then he's left on his own in night 2, and he has to fight fair and square one-on-one. So.
Well, the only way I can explain it is in night 2, if he's involved, he could actually like be right there and then cost Roman directly. But if he's not there, it won't like have the same meaning like if he like didn't cost Roman directly. So I'm saying that they probably will win night 1, but I think he's going to cost him. The swerve will be in night 2, not in night 1.
Yeah, I'm in the same thought process too. If there's gonna be a swerve, it's gonna be a night 2.
Well, last thing before we take off and switch topics, how about this Rock promo in Arizona? I'm sure somebody wants to say something, so if somebody wants to praise it or gush over it, I'm not going to play the whole thing because I'm sure you guys seen it. It's pretty long. But he did rip on the people of Phoenix. They were pretty close to Phoenix, and he assumed a lot of people drove from Phoenix to get to wherever they were. Where were they? In
Glendale, I think. Was that where they were?
Arizona.
Yeah, Glendale.
Some other town outside of Phoenix. Robert, you want to give some thoughts about The Rock? I know I'd been bashing on The Rock for many, many months, but this to me was straight up hilarious stuff. I will have to admit, I will give it praise myself too.
Of course.
Yeah, so I love this. This was the second SmackDown in a row where The Rock really delivered. The Rock was back to being The Rock that I grew up loving, right? So this was awesome. I do want to say though, there was I think a 20-minute long promo that he did on Instagram prior to SmackDown. So one of the
I didn't see this.
I did. I actually watched it afterwards. He did the promo before SmackDown, but I didn't watch it until afterwards. One of the only criticisms I've had of this angle was that there was still that plot hole, right, regarding why Cody decided to give his spot to The Rock, the conversation that they had. That finally gets addressed in The Rock's promo on Instagram. So I'm glad that he did that.
So
um,
What did
so
he
what did he
say?
say?
I didn't
Yeah.
watch this whole fucking
oh,
long ass
oh,
Instagram shit.
No, we didn't watch this.
oh, okay. Well,
Uh,
okay, long story short, do you remember that in Raw? I believe it was a Raw segment where he teased the fans like, should The Rock sit at the head of the table?
Yeah, yeah.
He
Yes.
mentioned that he did that just to test the waters to see what the crowd reaction would be to gauge their interest, and he got a really big pop out of that, and so they did have a conversation. Well, according to The Rock in his promo, that he did have a conversation with Cody. Basically, he's letting him know, you know what, Cody, you could finish your story anytime, but we gotta make this WrestleMania the biggest WrestleMania it could possibly be. And what bigger matchup than, The Rock versus Roman? And according to The Rock in his promo, Cody did agree to it. And then I
Changed his
believe,
mind.
yeah, yes, Cody did change his mind, but The Rock didn't really mention why Cody changed his mind. I think Cody said it in the Raw segments following this. He talked about why he decided to change his mind. But the actual conversation that happened between The Rock and Cody, The Rock talked about it in the Instagram promo. I actually recommend hearing it. It's pretty cool. All right, now
Unless
back
it's
to
all a swerve and this is all a plan by Cody and The Rock the whole entire time, but I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. I hope not, like I said. I hope this evil duo continues on. But before we move on, any thoughts about that whole moment when
yeah,
The Rock was going to say, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, and Roman stopped him and told him, you have to acknowledge me,
right.
and The Rock looked at him and it was all tense for a second and he did do it.
Yes.
But did you
So
guys see anything in there? Was there anything in that moment that might make you think one way or the other that this might go?
so I wasn't surprised that that happened. I was just surprised that all this happened this soon. I kind of saw all this coming. I just didn't expect it to happen at that moment in time. I was thinking The Rock and Roman still have to build up their own feud. So they would build tension, but I just didn't expect to see it this quickly. But hey, they decided to go with it already, and I was a little surprised, and I like being surprised, so that was cool. Well, one other thing before I, let Vlad give his opinion on this, I do want to give a shout out to Paul Heyman on this segment. Even during the times when he's not the one talking, he's telling a lot with just his facial
Oh
expressions.
yeah.
It's hilarious. Paul Heyman was great on this, even without
He's
the mic
always
in his
great.
hand.
He's always
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we go to Vlad, I want to give a shout out to all the crackheads in Phoenix that make this
yeah.
segment really fucking great. Thank you to all you crackheads and meth heads. But yes,
Yeah.
Vlad,
You
any
cactus
thoughts?
loving fools. No, I
Yes.
was gonna say
Final
yes,
thoughts,
yes.
Vlad.
Yeah.
Take us home.
Yes, no, absolutely. First, obviously, great promo. It was a 40-minute segment from the start of the show to when it ended, but it really was fantastic. I didn't have any issue with them going long or it being long. It was very entertaining. The Rock is very capable of it, and I think this is the best use of him being a heel, actually. So I could understand why Kahan wants him to stay heel and not be part of some swerve. I kind of understand that. This is the best use of him uh, in a long time. Heel Rock has always been great to me. When he was Hollywood Rock back in 2003 or whatever, when he was doing those mummy movies and he came back and whatever, that was also really good Rock. So this is kind of similar to that. I will say that the Roman Rock thing, that's what really convinced me that it is probably a swerve, because why would The Rock admit that Roman is his tribal chief? Like, it makes no sense. The Rock is older. He should have seniority, right? So he should technically be the tribal chief
Well,
based
he's
on the
never
fact
been
that,
champion as long as Roman has. I'll tell you that much.
well, which is, no, that's true. That's true. But still, at the same time, The Rock is a pretty, yeah, this doesn't make sense for him to admit that, right? That's why it makes me think that it's part of a swerve. So great segment. Paul Heyman, of course, as you mentioned, fantastic. His facial expressions during this whole thing is hilarious. Everything about Paul is great, and everything about this was great. So I wish, I know this is a wrestling show, but I wish they could have done a full 2 hours of just this, honestly. I know there's supposed to be some matches involved, but that only seems to be getting in the way right now of what's actually good. So yeah.
All right, if that's gonna be it for this segment, I think, because that's all the information we got. This is the road to WrestleMania. If you guys want to check out our thoughts previously from before when we didn't know what the fuck was going on, but it's always interesting to try to piece this together and see if we could figure out what's going to happen. So this is part 6. We've done already 5 parts. The link to the playlist is below in the description. If you want to subscribe, you go ahead and do that too. We need some subscribers. We're at like 170, which is not bad. Thank you to all you people who subscribed out there. We appreciate you. You the homie. So listen, we're going to come back. We're going to talk some AEW a little bit. We're going to do Sting's retirement match. So, hey, Sting's retirement match was not bad. Come on, Vlad. It wasn't bad.
Oh, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Let's talk about how it wasn't bad. Okay.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. Subscribe so you'll get notified when we upload the next video. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.